business casual, business clothes for people that want to go out. People that are moving back on the street have yourself. They have like a annual donate your business. I've seen some really good stories. In fact, I've seen one this year.
Well, all of them are terrible. All of them are.
Grant.
Grant.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
I'm Brian.
Okay, okay.
I thought you were speaking for Gavin.
We're all big. It's all right.
Hello.
Walking around. He's in a big blue shirt. You can't miss him.
All right. So this is
My mother's parents right here. He's right there by the stop sign. Big, tall blue shirt.
oh, okay. There he is. All right. How are you all doing?
Hang in there.
That's good. Service is this Friday?
Yes, sir. 11 o'clock.
Cornerstone.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind me asking, it's going to be, is it like a closed casket or a divine service?
No, they won't be in the
Oh, okay. My wife passed away from cancer.
One of the things I don't know how
Terrible.
one of the issues is that they need to put a kitchen in. But here's one piece of they're doing all this stuff planned. What are you going to do with it? What are the programs?
Crazy still, huh?
Yeah.
Like, do you like stand your
Her
feet
hair
on feet
had
out?
come back and
Yeah.
everything else.
You know? Yeah.
And of course, I got notified that
No, they
it was
have,
starting to go
they
down.
have, unless they have, they have
Came back with
the
a
Office of Aging helping them. We have nothing.
Well, like I told Gavin and Roger and Tim, my wife, it's second here. She met my wife a few years ago, so. Anyway, I apologize.
No, you're good. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Nice to see what they set up for her.
can't cause trouble.
Probably the police departments. Oh, well, they got the big ones. Right. Oh, yeah. Probably John Strangus. You probably can't get out of the house if you don't fly his drone and watch it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not too far away.
Right.
It's got limitations on how far you can fly.
This is the candlelight vigil for fallen councilwoman and former mayor Karlee Meyer of Hemet. This vigil is being held at the Hemet Police Station, put on by the Firefighters Association.
Is Blake Booth present?
Well, at our age, we don't have to.
Present. Colors. Ready, two. Right, peace. Forward, out.
Go bow your heads with me. Lord, we just give you this time. We thank you so much, Lord, for sending Karlee Meyer to the city of the leader, the fighter, the friend, was known by so many. Her influence touched every corner of this valley. There was a person that didn't know her. God, we are so thankful to have such a leader, such an activist, such a servant heart in this valley. I just pray that you would bless this time. Bless Roger and the kids. I pray, Lord God, that your ministering spirit will attend to their family, Lord God, and help them through this time of sorrow. Your word promises us that you're going to send us your spirit, your comforter. And I pray that your comforter will be present with their family right here, right now. And I pray that it will be present with every single family and community member that's going to surround them right now. God, we just ask that you bless this evening. We thank you for the memory and the life of Karlee Meyer. God, she's at a high standard of what leadership looked like, and what it meant to be a servant, and what it meant to fight for a city. We are all honored to call her a friend. And God, I just ask that her legacy would carry on. I pray that her memory would be something that we always strive to attain as we serve this city to do it well. Because she did it well. The Lord, she ran her race. She fought the good fight. She has finished the race. And we thank you so much, Lord God, for this wonderful, marvelous life. In Jesus' name, amen.
Hello everyone, I'm Joe Mills, I'm the mayor of Hemet, and love Karlee just as much as everyone else did here. Karlee was a beautiful, beautiful soul. She did everything for everyone and loved everyone. We're gonna miss her. She can always be a part of our lives, be in our hearts. She's done so much for my family, myself. When I lost my son, she was the only one that I could reach out to for help, and she was there to help me and guided me through the path that I needed to be on. And I always thank her for that, thank her family, thank everyone. You know, we always have to keep in mind that tomorrow we may not be here, and we always should love everyone that we come across and be thankful for those that are still here with us. I'm going to miss her very much. My family's going to miss her, and I thank God that I was able to be a friend and be a part of her life as she was a part of mine. Karlee Meyer, we love you. We're here for you. We thank you for everything you've done for us. Even when she had me at Weston Park talking to the homeless, I didn't even know what I was doing over there, but she had me there, and that was her life. That's what she did. She helped those in need. She helped everyone. I'm just thankful for her. And I'm going to miss her. Thank you, Karlee, for being my friend. I'd like to welcome Lilienthal, and after Malcolm, Linda Krupa, then Jackie Peterson, please.
Good evening, everyone. When I first met Karlee, I don't want to say like we didn't get off to the right start, but she's told me I should not run for council. And she explained to me that she developed a relationship with the previous council member and thought that they had some things set in stone to keep the city moving forward. For whatever reason, I didn't listen to her, and I ran for council, and we became really close. I remember going out there some of the examples would be behind, I think it's Seven Hills, in between Domnegoni and that place. And we would be back there with the homeless people, just checking out what they're doing, and can we, offering help and different things like that. And just like Mayor Mail said, she had me at Weston Park as well. Seeing her, like, her heart pour out to people and wanting to help was one of the things that was really encouraging to see, that you could really get behind something you're passionate about. And whether or not we disagreed on things, I know she had a heart for this city. I know she had a heart for the people. She truly believed in what she was fighting for pertaining to the city of Hemet. She wanted the people of Hemet to be safe. She wanted us to be happy. She wanted us to feel a sense of security. And you can see that in the way that she voted. Sometimes I complained to her about some of the decisions we made on council, and she always told me, you want to look at the bigger picture. Sometimes your citizens won't agree with some of the decisions that you made, but you're looking at it more from a bigger picture, a long way. You're looking into the future on how people are going to be affected. And so she was like, make sure you vote your heart, even if people don't agree. She always hammered that into me. She took it upon herself to invite me to her home and kind of go over the agenda with me a couple times. And then she kind of just set me free. It was just But she didn't have to do that. She went through the agenda, different items. This is why we do it. This is the flow. This is why we do different things. And she was a huge mentor to me. Huge mentor. Her passion, all of that, it lives on because that's what she modeled for us. She just voted what she thought was right, and she sincerely thought it was right, the choices that she made. And I honor her for that. I honor the family that they allowed her to bless us, the city of Hemet. I'm going to miss her so much. So much. I'm so grateful that I got to know her, got to get close to her. I'm so grateful for her life. Fight like Karlee.
I first met Karlee when she decided to run for city council. And the first time I actually met her and talked to her was at a fundraising event for her. And when I was ready to leave, after all the speeches and endorsements and all of that, she said, let me walk out to your car with you because it's a dark street. And I looked at her and said, honey, I think I can take care of myself. And she said, nope, I'm going to walk you to your car. And I said, okay. So we get halfway to my car. She takes my hand and slaps it against her leg. And I said, oh, shit, you carrying? Let's talk about Karlee. Karlee was there. Karlee, she and I had our dust-ups, as probably everybody knows. I think we always had, and I believe we always had the same destination and the same outcome in mind for our city and our valley. We sometimes disagreed on the road we would take to get there. But Karlee was always there. She was always passionate, compassionate, quick to voice her opinion, stubborn, willful, loving, kind, caring. The day I told her that I had been diagnosed with cancer, she cried. And I said, I'm going to be fine. I am going to be fine. And the day she told me she had cancer, I looked at her and I said, and you're going to be fine too. And she said, well, probably, because I'm going for my first brain scan and I hope they find out I have one. She was always making jokes and making light. But in the last year and a half, we developed a different relationship. We had conversations that to me were more meaningful than discussing the ills and the woes and the troubles of our city and our community and the things we have no control over. And it turns out we have no control over cancer. But in those conversations, we were able to share with each other the thoughts and concerns that I think only people who have cancer living in their bodies can share. And she was always strong. She would always say, fight like Karlee. And yeah, I agree with you. And she shared, towards the end, she shared her concerns and what she was feeling, her concerns, what would happen after she was gone. She may be gone physically from us. She will never, ever be gone from our memories and from the caring of this community to someone who stepped out in front, took criticism, took guff, but stayed the steady path. She had such a firm, strong belief in Jesus Christ. She had a strong, firm belief in her family. And she had a strong and firm belief in this community. So our challenge to you is fight for our community, fight for our families, fight for what's the most important thing that Karlee would stand here and say. Fight like hell, like Karlee, for God, country, and community. I will miss her, but just before I sat down, I heard her in my ear saying, Linda, shut off both your phones. Thank you.
Some great things have been said about Karlee, and unfortunately, me being a new member on the city council and not knowing her very well before, I only met her at one event prior to my running for city council, so I was not as close as these great people over here are, and I didn't get the opportunity to know Karlee as many of you did, but I do know she was a fifth generation resident, born and raised in Hemet, and she cared deeply about our city and its people. She was a people person, and she made herself available to the public on countless occasions, and her vibrant personality showed through in everything she did. She had a big heart, and her goals were to make Hemet a wonderful place for everyone to live, work, and raise a family. Like many of us, she saw a city decline in recent years, and she was determined to make it better for every person. In Karlee's honor, I'd like to see everyone pull together and do something kind for another person, no matter how small it is. And when you do it, think of Karlee and her big smile looking down upon us. Thank you.
was a large supporter of public safety, and tonight we knew it would be fitting to have comments from those that felt compelled to share how Karlee impacted them. At this time,
good evening. It's an honor to be here tonight with everyone during this emotional time. I'm Eddie Sell. I'm the fire chief for the Hemet Fire and Life Safety Agency. When I think of Karlee, I think of passion. I think of true commitment to serving our entire community and literally rolling up her sleeves to fight for what is best to enhance our public safety and our entire city. I remember the first time I met Karlee. It was at City Hall. She looked me up and down and essentially said, "You better take care of them." And for them is right over here. Our firefighters and our public safety officials that work tirelessly to make sure this community is safe. It didn't take long for us to connect and realize we shared the belief of taking care of our people. Two words come to mind that I believe help describe Karlee's character: courage and love. Courage. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of other people's opinions drown out your inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Steve Jobs. Love. In everything I did, I showed you this by kind of hard work. We must help the weak, remembering the words the Lord Jesus himself said. It is more blessed to give than to receive. Acts 20, verse 35. Without Karlee's commitment to, the audio? Can everyone hear me in the back?
No.
Okay, I'm getting the thumbs up. Thank you, Karlee, for making that work. Without Karlee's commitment to enhancing our city's public safety, our fire department would not have ordered new fire engines for the first time in years, or hired new firefighters, or supported staffing our ladder truck, or supported our behavioral health, or worked to identify fire station remodels and future fire station locations. None of this would have happened without Karlee's passion and dedication to serving our residents with the best public safety possible. Karlee loved our public safety departments and had a special bond with our firefighters and police officers. Karlee listened to their stories, listened to their needs, and made sure their concerns were addressed. Karlee fought hard for her family, for her friends, and for this community. She fought this terrible disease with everything she had. Karlee is now at rest, but the fight will continue on. Karlee has inspired us to stand for what we believe in, to give all we have, and to ensure we never stop making things better than we found them. We will always fight like Karlee. Thank you. And in memory of Karlee, I did break our uniform policy, and I'm wearing a special belt buckle. I will now introduce Hemet Firefighters Local President, Captain Dave Prieto.
Hello everybody, hope you can hear me okay. So I thought I'd just talk about some anecdotal things about Karlee to hopefully inspire a memory of how she affected everybody here in their own special way. I want to thank the Meyer family for being here. This is an incredibly hard time for them, but we're we're honoring you guys with Karlee's memory because she was such an incredible person and meant so much to everybody in this valley. Our council members, for being here today to honor Karlee and putting everything aside, whether you agreed or disagreed, just honoring her memory, who she was and what she did for him. Our chiefs, Chief Zell, Chief Boost, I know that you two have been incredibly close with Karlee for many years and have really worked together with her. You know, even when times got a little hard, you all worked together, and the cooperation and teamwork was just like nothing I've ever seen. So city staff who put this together and for years have known Karlee as she's come into our workplaces and buildings and the city yard and the fire stations and the police station and everything in between, to meet and know every city employee and every member of the city staff. And finally, to all the citizens who supported Karlee and have supported Hemet, we thank you, because there's nobody like her that has brought us together just like this. So it's a beautiful evening. We're going to celebrate the life of Karlee Meyer. So we ask, who is Karlee? Well, in today's day and age, we have to identify she was a woman, a daughter to Orville and Nancy, a wife to Roger, a mother to Gabby, to Garen, to Grant, to Gavin. She's a council member, a mayor, a warrior, a fighter, a person who never quit. She never stopped and was never satisfied until the job was done. But it had to be in her way, because we all know that was the only way. But what made her so special? And I know all of us have a reason inside that made her so special. I do. I know her parents do, and her children. But everybody has a memory of Karlee that held her special to our hearts, otherwise she wouldn't be here. She made us each feel special and important. She gave us attention, and not just a little bit. She poured it on. When you cried for help, she was there. I don't even know where she must have got 26 hours a day, because I only get 24. I feel stretched thin, but she had the time. She was one of a kind. She actually listened to everyone and then recalled those conversations because she cared. She cared about you, me, all of us, our families, and our needs. And I think everybody here knows that, because if you talk to Karlee about something special in your life, or an issue in your life, or a problem with the city, or something you didn't like, or you spoke up at a council meeting, or you didn't like something on an agenda, or she came out to the park and used our, she remembered. She remembered your issue. She remembered your name. Everything. She had an amazing talent, and it's because she truly cared. So, obviously, I'm a firefighter. All my brothers here are firefighters. And so, there was a lot of daily life in the fire station with Karlee. Karlee liked to just come on into the fire station and plop down the recliner and just lay it out. Talk, see what's going on with the guys and gals, and hang out. And that was fun. And that was nice. And it felt good, because she made herself human. She made herself level. She wasn't above, she wasn't below. She was just one of us. And I'm sure it's how she made everybody feel, just like one of us. She liked to hang out during dinner, talk to the people eating, help cook, bring food, clean up dishes. When the bell rung, she'd jump on the fire engine with us. She'd jump on the squad. She liked to go to medical aids. And she'd talk about our families. She knew our wives' names, our children's names, what sports our kids played. Everything. Who was having a baby? Who called off sick that day? What shift was on duty? Who the battalion chief was? Because she paid attention, she cared. Because it was one component of making Hemet better. One of many components of making Hemet better. And then there was what she called the table of truth. And the table of truth is simply the fire station dinner table at Station 1. And she loved to bring her kids there and just torture the living hell out of them. Embarrass the kids, embarrass the boyfriends, embarrass the girlfriends. But why? For life lessons. Right? Truly life lessons. talk to the guys that are 10, 20 years older than they are, that aren't related to them, they're kind of pseudo-cool, right? And hear it from them. So that she could walk to the back of the car and smack her on the back of the head and say, I told you so. But that was Karlee. Why do the Hemet firefighters love Karlee? Because she had no quit. None. She never stopped. In her own words, and I'm quoting Karlee, she was all balls. That was her line. And she was more than a punchline. She knew everyone in the Hemet Fire Department by their first names. All the guys. Like I said, our wives' names, our kids' names, where we live, everything. And that's why she was special. She cared. It always came back to her caring and the heart and love she poured into everybody in the city. She loved going on the fire engine, the squad. She loved going to calls. And many times, on calls, when there was an opportunity to speak to a family member who was watching, she'd introduce herself to comfort them. She'd have a business card, like I'm sure many people got one of Karlee's business cards. And she'd put in her cell phone number. This is my personal cell phone. Call me anytime, day or night. I'll pick up. And she did. It's amazing. It's incredible. And I don't know if anybody knows, but I think she went to Nordstrom Rack. She got a Calvin Klein jacket. And she made it into one of our turnout jackets. And that's what she wore. She wore it on calls, she wore it at night. Her and Roger show up on fire scenes, car accidents, and she'd have this on to identify herself. But because she was representing the fire department during our time, when we were busy, and we were working, and she wanted to know she was there. She was so proud of being mayor of the Hemet City Council. And she was proud of it not for the notoriety or to say she was a politician or to get out of speeding tickets or bragging. She loved being a councilor because it meant she could truly affect change in the city, real positive change. What we saw in council meetings, well, we all saw all kinds of stuff from Karlee. We all know it. I watch you guys banter back and forth. It's one of the greatest shows on earth every other Tuesday. She was aggressive, Linda. Malcolm, she was passionate. Jackie, abrasive. Not just with you, but pretty much with anybody. Me too. But she was loving, right, Joe? Yeah. Because she always said what she believed in, and she never backed down. She was a relentless advocate for Hemet and every citizen who lived and worked here. She loved our Hemet Police Department. Several times a week, or after visiting us at the fire station, coming and going, she always make a trip to the PD, before or after. Why? Again, because she cared. And she didn't just talk about it, she lived it. She knew our brothers in blue by first name, and their wives and kids, but she always addressed them by rank and last name. Because that's their way, and she wanted to respect that. She talked about Lieutenant Dixon, Captain Brock, Chief Poost, Officer Nico. That's the way it is at the PD, and that's the way she lived it, because she believed in our law enforcement brothers and sisters. She spent time learning about law enforcement in Hemet and how she could be HPD's champion. She did it by talking to everyone, from the police chief to the newest rookie. And I think we see that in our showing of love for Karlee with our brothers in blue, with their color guard, and they're showing here today, and the fact that we're on their property in the inside the fence area, which never happens. So, a little personal story. A couple of years ago, my wife and I were working on our yard or our house. I had a pine tree on the side of the house that I personally cut down about 95 or 97% of it. I'll be damned if I'm going to pay somebody to pull it out. And I asked Karlee, you want some wood to burn? She said, what kind is it? I said, well, it's pine. It's just giant pine tree. Oh, yeah, I'll be right over. And sure as heck, she trucked on over to my house with her long bed F-250 with Garen to pick up not a little wood, but a ton of wood. I mean, a lot of wood. And why did she do it? Because Roger loves to burn pine wood for his campfires. And that's who Karlee was. She knew every small detail about everybody that she loved and cared for. And she went the extra mile to do something for them, to make them feel special, because they were special to her. And their needs were special to her. Garen, my man, your mom loved watching you. From high school, sports, girlfriends, from a nice goofy young boy to just a buffed out stud, baseball hitting son of a bitch you are right now. Gabby, your mom's number one road dog. You guys went everywhere together. If she was here, you were here. You guys are transitioning from mother-daughter to best friends. Been watching it happen for many, many years. And she's so proud of you and your work ethic, your independence. Your cooking and baking skills are fantastic. And your fierce ability to stand your ground. You are tough. You are very tough. And you got that from your mom. I know Gavin's not here, but she was incredibly proud of him and all he's accomplished in baseball, in school, and becoming a man. She beamed with pride talking about him, going to his games, watching him pitch. And of course the bantering, back and forth. He just tried to be too cool for school. But she loved her boy so much. And Grant, firstborn, your mother loved you for who you are. And you've never been afraid to be who you are. And that's a rare thing in people today. You're responsible, calm, and pragmatic. She loved hanging out with you downstairs in the pub, and you and your friends, because she never passed up the opportunity to spend time with you and grow your relationship. Roger, we all know how much Karlee loved you. It was painfully obvious, and it was never going to change. She was your fiercest defender, your number one advocate, and your number one critic. Nothing she ever did in her life was done without you being part of it. We're all indebted to the Meyer family for their generosity of Karlee, the time that they gave her to us, and we can never pay you guys back. But we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Karlee was somebody we all loved and will always cherish because of who she was and what she stood for. She stood for the truth. She stood for her family. She stood for her friends. And she stood for hemet, our hemet, her hemet. On behalf of the Hemet Firefighters Association, thank you for being here tonight. And we hope you enjoy the rest of your evening as we remember our dear friend, Karlee Meyer.
Roger, our hearts go out to you and your family. We're thankful that you shared Karlee with us, all of you. Is there anything you would like?
Can you hear me? Yeah, good. Yep. I want to take a couple of minutes and just try to encourage. So I'm going to step on some areas that are going to be funny, hopefully, and you'll get a kick out of it, but I'm here to hopefully give you some encouragement. Karlee, as most of you know, she understands respect and all that good stuff, but she'd say, go out and do something productive. What are you all sitting around and standing around here for? So I just want to say welcome, and it's very impressive and humbling that you you guys all took time out of your busy days and evening to spend it here honoring Karlee. It's been an incredible past couple of days, hearing from many of you condolences and the outpouring of support that Karlee received. Lots of stories have been and memories have been shared, and many of you heard already this evening. I want to kind of try to relate a little bit of Karlee's life in something I think most of you that know her get. There's a show called The First 48. It is a law enforcement show, and the premise of the show is you got to get on a crime right away, or a tragic event. You got to figure out how quickly to solve it, or your ability to solve it dramatically reduces, let's say 50% if you don't get it solved in 48 hours, or get a good lead and that kind of thing. And so, Karlee, while the show is based around law enforcement and detectives typically, and obviously a tragic death in most cases, the concept applies in most of our lives. If we don't get on something and stick to it, the longer we kind of delay or let things get cold, so to speak, the quicker we're off to the next thing. And we just recreate, never finish. With all the distractions and all of life's activities and events, and you've heard already tonight how involved Karlee was with lots of things and lots of folks, how in the world do you get things solved? Karlee had lots of projects and or causes in her 48. A couple of examples. I came home from work one day, and she installed by herself, maybe with a kid or two's help, a sliding glass door in one of the walls in our house. What the heck are you thinking? You can't just cut a large hole in a wall of your house without getting experts involved. I got tired of walking around to get there, so I fixed the solution. Karlee had lots of issues. Many of them were given to her by this collective group. She really was effective, though, at getting to the clues quickly, to understand the issue and try to get to the root quickly. And then, as you know, as you've already heard tonight, she jumped in. She did not sit in the sidelines. She didn't stay out. She had some pretty unflattering nicknames due to that gift, which we're going to stay PG tonight, so we will leave those off the record. But in many cases, she jumped in even when the issue was still hot. David mentioned a little bit, we've been on many accident scenes. We were fortunate or unfortunate, depending on how you look at it, to go to the Alessandro fire, and I don't think the apartments were cool yet. I mean, she was already jumping in, figuring out how to help. She took many people out of their situation of difficulty and tried to make it better, if it was only for a couple of seconds. Driving out Florida, pull over, that guy's giving that girl a hard time. We're going to fix it. We know this guy. No. We know the girl. No. But I had to stop. She's out there barking at the guy to tell him to knock it off. Many times in my 28 years of marriage to Karlee, get a phone call. Hey, so-and-so moved into our house today. Oh, yeah? Yeah, she needed a place to stay, or he needed actually almost all C's, right? She's almost all girls. She needed a place to stay. She's in a rough situation, so we had lots of house guests. Always trying to solve challenges. Before she was elected, my last kind of pre-election story, one wonderful day, met a wonderful hemet police officer. He wanted to talk to me. I was like, oh boy, what's this about? Sir, your wife really needs to stop what she's doing before she gets hurt. I believe she had just finished chasing a really bad dude in a van all around town and confronted him after he finally stopped, after he gave up. She called PD and was so proud of herself that she tracked down the bad guy and saved them the hassle. The officer was pretty smart to come and talk to me and not to her. My only answer was, sir, if only I could, I would. So that wasn't a great response, but it was the best I had. Not all of our projects were able to get completed or solved in the 48 hours. But fortunately, there's still some work in progress that we still get to watch and see the fruit in the next few years. Elected office about 6 years ago, as folks have already mentioned, was an interesting plot twist in Karlee's life. Government is sometimes called slow, sometimes indecisive, sometimes typically inefficient, and very cumbersome, which is a politically correct way of saying lots of red tape. How is she going to be effective in making an impact in that environment? When Karlee is 30 seconds, you got 30 seconds to get something done. How in the world does that connect? What can government get done in a 48-hour period of time? Believe it or not, and a lot of us on the outside think it's impossible, but believe it or not, you can actually get quite a bit done. As she's already been mentioned tonight, Karlee loved her country, and she greatly loved it. As a fifth-generation Hamiltonian, what an honor she could deserve as a council member. Oh, it's just Hemet. It's a phrase she didn't like at all. People would come up and ask her, why don't you move? It's Hemet. Oh, that would offend her. Greatly offend her. Hemet is full of exceptional people. Some of our exceptional folks should probably spend a bit less time on Facebook. I don't think I just said that. Councilmember Karlee's, from her perspective, Hemet is a wonderful town of almost 100,000 people nowadays. Largest population group in town, believe it or not, is not 65 and older. It's 35 and under. Hemet's facing in the future. It's not the town it has been in the past decades. Facing the future and adapting isn't ever easy or done in 48 hours, as someone like to make TV movies or TV shows about. We can collectively choose to transform Hemet to new challenges and realities it faces, or just let the clock keep ticking and let the 48 hours go by. As many of you know, Karlee had a great pride in her community. One of her pet peeves, we have this amazing technology where regularly an incredible machine comes along and empties these containers we call trash cans. All we have to do is put the trash in them. However, it seems that Hemet folks are pretty inquisitive sometimes. We like to be a little different and see if the trash cans by itself. Oh, but that's all of our transient friends' problem. They're the ones that litter and pollute the wonderful city. Granted, they may have an impact, but I'll tell you, last week, I saw a Tesla on Ford in San Antonio throw its empty chip bag out the window. I'm pretty sure they were thinking, though, that trash would find, through autosteer, would find a trash receptacle. But continue to take pride in Hemet. That's one thing we probably love more than anything else, is pride in Hemet. If we all pick up a piece of trash, somebody else's trash, not just your trash. Or pull the weed. Another thing Hemet likes that is a lot of weeds. Just think how incredible our city could look really quickly. 100,000 people doing one a day. Make an impact. Another one of Karlee's wonderful challenges was meeting strangers. A lot of us don't like to say hi to strangers. A stranger walks by, Karlee would strongly suggest you don't run to Facebook and start ranting about an individual walking through your neighborhood. Go on, wave. Say hello. Welcome to our neighborhood. Anything I can help you with? The folks that don't like that, they'll leave. The folks that do like that, you just met a new friend and a neighbor. And you never know what blossoms out of that. And by the way, you'll get good at it really quickly. It's much better than sitting at a computer and just ranting to your computer screen or your iPhone screen. The point of this encouragement is just to basically say, Karlee was a council member for 6 years, and we've got the 4 remaining tonight. It's not their job. We've got 100,000 people in this city. We've got 150,000 folks almost in this valley. It's all of our collective jobs. It's not just call Karlee, call Linda, call Joe, call Malcolm, call Jackie, and complain about trash in somebody else's driveway. Just go on, pick it up. Karlee lived by that motto and tried to get that expressed almost every day. Karlee didn't have a four-letter word. She had not one of the four-letter words in her vocabulary. The word fear. Rusty Baylor, recent mayor of Riverside, said in a quote, "In politics, you introduce fear to win. In leadership, you remove fear to succeed." Karlee tried hard to encourage and remove the fear and encourage folks to get involved, whether it's faith-based organizations to get out, clean it up, Saturday cleanups. Don't be afraid. Let's get out and make hemet better. Let's don't let the undesirables or whatever we're concerned about to take over. If all the good people move out of hemet, what's left, right? Stay here and make a difference. By your willingness tonight to spend a few minutes with this evening honoring Karlee, community obviously still matters. Just remember, time is not endless, though, for each of us. God took her home last week. She got 48 years to make an impact. Thank you all so much for taking some time out of your busy lives to get to know Karlee. And I encourage you to keep that up. We have current leaders that are still already mentioned and you got to meet tonight. And then obviously you'll have new ones. Don't get frustrated if Karlee meant a lot to you and because she passed away, it's not worth getting to know the next one. She would actually kick you in the rear probably if she heard any of you say that. So she would love you to stay involved and get more involved. Wrapping up, as David mentioned, God blessed us with 4 wonderful kids. 3 of them are here tonight. And hopefully soon have some growing families. Darren, a shameless plug. Mama got to see him turn 18 last Friday. She missed him to pitch 2 wonderful baseball games. The Taco's better have won league today, but he just finished a baseball game earlier today. And he pitched a shutout 2 days after Mom and Dad last week. So just want to encourage you guys, you'll see us around town. Don't be shy. Knock them upside the head and say, "Hey, how are you?" Don't be afraid to, that's the other thing, Karlee, great passion of getting to know everybody, as you've already heard. And also, if you need to tell them to slow down, don't be shy as well. Just, in unlike hemet fashion, use all 5 fingers.
Orville, Nancy, would you like to come up?
I'm Orville Dennis, Karlee's father. All I'd like to say is, from the fire department, police department, and the city, thank you. Thank you so much for the outreach you've had, for the love, support. It's been phenomenal. And the only thing I'd like to say about Karlee is that after 48 years of knowing her, is that she was a people person. She loved people. And like a lot of you may know, that there's one thing about Karlee is that you never want to argue with her, even if you're right. Thank you very much.
Any of the kids like to come up at all? No? As a symbol of eternal remembrance of Council Member Karlee Meyer, the Meyer children will now light a memorial candle. The flame will then be passed to each of you with the help of a hemet firefighter explorer. Can we get the candles, please? You want to go ahead and light the candles? Hemet Police Department's chaplain, please come up, Bob. Aging Bob. Please lead us in prayer.
Would you bow your heads in a moment of silence, remembering Karlee's life? Heavenly Father, we thank you for a life well lived. We thank you for the opportunity and the privilege of knowing Karlee, being a part of her life, and enjoying her life. We thank you as we leave from here today, keeping in mind all the things that she meant to us and all the things that we desire to be as she was. A good person, a loving person, and a caring person. We thank you for the privilege of knowing her. In Jesus' name, amen.
We'll go get you taken care of right now.
Do me a favor and just go back and forth.
We're talking about to the people sitting down.
I know, right? All that for nothing, Joe.
This is such a beautiful sight. Everyone coming to pay their respects to the family and for Karlee, and we want to thank you all for being here. And remember, fight like Karlee. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and please travel safe. You don't have to leave right now. We're just closing up the show here. We thank you all for being here.
but her memories and her work will never be forgotten. This is Eddie George reporting live with Action Eye News.